I'm back. We
Welcome back.
have one of our friends from the other side of the world back on the podcast. So, he was just lazing around, not doing much. So I thought, okay, you know what a better way just to get him on here. So this episode is going to be known as Mind the Gap. So I think this is our second venture into Mind the
This is
Gap,
our second Mind the Gap, yeah.
जब हमारे पास कुछ ज़्यादा टॉपिक्स नहीं होते तो हम क्या करते हैं हम बहन चोद माइंड द कैप का एपिसोड लेते हैं मगर इस दफ़ा वी हैव अ गेस्ट हियर आसिफ भाई इज विद अस सो आई थिंक ही इज़ गोना शेयर सम ऑफ हिज विजडम आई थिंक जस्ट टू गेट थिंग्स अ बिट get things started, what I'll do is I've got something I will need to share with you guys. So let's have a look at this clip here. Check this.
This is how I got a free house in Portland, Oregon, and how you can too. So the first thing I did was find a vacant house that somebody was trying to rent. Next, I looked up how to break into a lockbox without using force. Thanks, YouTube. Next, I forged some documents. This made it look like I had a lease agreement, and I called the utility companies and had the utilities put in my name. I'm not going to pay them, but they don't know that. When the owner showed up, I politely explained that this was my house now, and they need to leave. So they call the police, and I show them my lease agreement and the utility bills, and they tell the owner that this is a civil matter, and they've got to sue me. This made the owner super angry, so she lawyers up and tries to evict me. Of course, I can't afford a lawyer, so I call up a tenant advocacy group who gives me a lawyer that's 100% free and funded by taxpayers. So my out-of-pocket is still $0. So this lawyer fights on my behalf for months and months, really driving the owner crazy and costing her tens of thousands of dollars. Finally, the owner decided it would be cheaper to just give me a chunk of cash to leave rather than continue paying the lawyer. So she writes me a check for $10K and I move out. I didn't even have to clean the place up, and that's a good thing because I do a lot of drugs and the house looks every bit of it. Still no thank you note for aerating the walls, but whatever. So I just got 9 months of free rent in a house that otherwise would have cost me $3,000 a month, plus a nice cash for keys check. And I wasn't even charged with anything. I always thought that stealing was wrong, but it turns out if you steal a house, it's not even against the law here. So this couldn't have worked out any better. Thanks, Portland.
So I think that's
Before we go ahead, I shared this like 8 hours ago. Exactly the same video
Oh, the same video, okay.
to my friends.
same video, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Exactly the same video.
Yeah, okay. There you go,
And,
man.
uh,
That,
There you
that
go,
looks
bro.
like you're in the right place.
You're in the right place then. Exactly.
I shared
Okay.
it to
No.
everybody. It was hilarious.
When I
No,
saw
but is this
video,
real or is this bullshit made
no,
up?
no, I
Like,
think
is it
I
made
think
up
it's
'cause I'm not
I
in the
think it's
States?
satire. I think it's satire. I don't think it's real.
मगर
but-
लोग कर रहे होंगे ना.
exactly.
Someone is
people
fucking
are probably
doing it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's happening in Los Angeles, right? In Los Angeles, they have the whole that whole 30-day squatter thing, right? Like if you go into an Airbnb and you stay there for like 30 days, the house is now yours. The owner can't get you out, and there's all this stuff that's actually going
They
on
have
in
that
LA.
shit in Australia as well. So if you have
Yeah?
a common land between you
Squatters'
and your neighbor,
rights, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Victoria में है. So there is a common land between me and my neighbor next door, and it's all basically just grass and lawn mowing. If I look after it, if I look
yeah.
after it, lawn mowing and everything, and I look after it for I think I don't know
10
1
years.
year or 2.
No, it's a long
10
period of
years.
time.
I think it's a long period of time. It's my land then. I can steal
Yeah,
it
you
from my
can claim.
neighbor.
You
know?
can claim it. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
one
encroaching,
of my one of our family friends told us. But yeah, I mean, is it always been like that? I mean, तू अभी अमेरिका गया था, right, Asif? So you went across America. So what was the experience like? I mean, what did you see that was different from Canada, I guess?
I mean, I don't know. If we think about just this video and why is that happening right now is simply because all these debt lords, I call them debt lords, not landlords.
Debt lords.
All these debt lords are suffering from high interest rates, and they're basically keeping the price up. And because of the laws with the tenancy, is that the laws in these states, the ones where I'm from and Portland and all that stuff, it's more like they're very good for the tenant. So they don't want people coming in at a low rental, unless it's I don't know, it depends on locations. I'm just giving you a rough idea. So they want to the rents have become so high right now that people can't afford it, and some houses are just empty. Those
Even in Australia, bro, they
dead
rather keep
lots,
it. Yeah, they
those
rather keep
dead
it empty and
lots,
fucking rent it
and
out.
so dead lots don't want to take a chance with anybody and want to get the maximum number of money because they have to pay the mortgage. But the people who are actually rich and they can afford to not give it to anybody and keep paying the payments, they just don't want to give it away. And this basically is a satire to show both sides of the coin, I guess. That's why it's hilarious. It's like it's not just it's making fun of the
Yeah.
landlord and the tenants and how
I think it's making fun of the
both
whole system,
sides. Yep. Yeah.
which is yeah, it is.
And
it is
and
terrible.
secondly, it's a good indicator that all these what do you say, passive income wannabes have
The YouTube
invested
phenomenon
in
of
the
passive
wrong
income.
asset. It's a wrong asset class. Yeah, you can't making money from rentals of houses in a free society, and sometimes these same societies are so taxed that people can't afford to pay the high rent. So it's not a capitalistic society in its true form. So people can't pay the high rents, and
No, even here
landlords
rents are
can't
through
pay
the roof, man. Even Canada, right?
Oh,
Rents are
crazy.
through the roof, bro. Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, doesn't
Bro,
make
it's not
sense.
just-
You are actually don't even own the asset. You're actually renting it out. You're renting out something you don't even own. The bank owns
Yeah,
it.
exactly. The bank owns
Right?
it.
Yeah.
Actually, even the bank doesn't.
So
own
weird.
It. Nobody owns it.
Nobody owns it, bro.
Yeah, no, that's the
what's
thing. It's
going
like
on.
nobody owns it.
Yeah.
Even the bank
Remember,
doesn't own
Asif,
it. I mean-
you remember when we were talking privately, you were talking about this concept where there are three kind of people in society: the producer, the consumer, and
The
kya tha?
consumer.
Can you explain
Yeah,
that a bit?
that's a Canadian libertarian. I forgot his name now, but he said something that different kinds of investors, uh, different kind of actors,
Contributors or
One
something,
is the
actors, yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Then there are, excuse me, passive, like non. I forgot the name, so I'm not. I'm just gonna give you. A
I'll
rough
look it up,
idea.
bro. I'll do the Jamie while you're talking.
Yeah, so it's basically a Canadian libertarian. It's based. I think if you go in agorism on Wikipedia. So agorism is a concept of free market that was established in the Greeks during the Greek time, the Greek Republic. It's
Samuel Edward.
different. Excuse me,
Agorism.
sorry.
Samuel Edward Conkin.
So if you go down,
Conkin, sorry.
I don't know if you can share your screen so we can see it together.
Yeah. Finding it.
So sometimes because I'm an information whore, I keep
Yes.
Aren't we all?
Yes,
go
you
through
are.
this.
Oh, he's a
Go
Holocaust denial. There you go.
No, go down.
Just zoom in
They
a
don't
bit.
have it.
So there is,
Yeah, this guy.
yeah.
So if you go to agorism, the page agorism,
Yeah.
yeah, go down. Oh,
That's agorism.
no,
They
not
removed
no,
it or
no,
something?
no,
or
not
what?
here. No,
Let's search for agorism then.
it should be, yeah. Just search for agorism Wikipedia because that's a good indicator. I think this guy is Canadian from Alberta. He's like
Yeah.
a Canadian redneck.
Yeah. Oh, every time you type agorism, that's what comes here.
No,
So
just scroll
a
up.
goal
Scroll up.
A goal of agorism, the goal of agorism is agora, the society of open marketplace, as near to untainted by theft, assault, and fraud as can be humanly attained, as close to a free society can be achieved. And a free society is the only one in which each and every one of us can satisfy his or subjective values without crushing others values by violence and coercion.
Yeah, I think they removed that. You're right.
Yeah, because I saw it last time in one of the other episodes we shot.
Yeah,
I actually looked it
they
up.
removed it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's disappeared, bro. That's weird, man. Yeah.
Super weird.
It's not
I'm pretty
disappeared. It's
sure.
right there actually. So if you go back
Okay,
to
where is
the
it?
article, it's there.
Yeah.
So right
Yeah,
there. Wait,
where?
no, stay
No,
there, stay
but
there,
the
stay there.
chart.
Scroll up.
Yeah.
Scroll up. Yeah. You see where it says
This one
redirected
here,
from
yeah.
algorithm? Right at the top.
Yeah.
Samuel Edward Conkin 3 article talk from Wikipedia, free encyclopedia. Up, ऊपर, एकदम ऊपर. Bro, where are you?
Okay. So you click on this, you mean?
No, it says redirected from algorithm. There. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
not there.
but it doesn't explain. But we keep coming back there again. It's
Yeah.
not showing us where. I
was
did
Or
see it.
Agora.
Yeah,
Or click
there's
on
a whole
Agora.
chart.
Click on Agora.
Agora. Okay, let's see. There was
There
a
you go.
chart. No, this takes it to fucking Athens, bro. This is different.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
It's all right.
So
So,
anyway,
so
there
they
was a
removed
chart,
it then.
and in the chart it
there was a
says
chart. Yeah,
that, so there's entrepreneur types that basically always want to innovate, do new things. Um, the capital they have is always trying to produce something to make the world a better place, or sometimes not a better place because it can be an evil entrepreneur. But the idea is that this person is always producing, and the second one is a non-statist, um, non-status.
There you go.
Non-status.
there you go. That's it. This chart was on fucking Wikipedia. I think I have a recording of it as well.
Oh
You know,
dear.
there's a separate podcast that me
There you
and Asif used to do. I stopped it. In that one, we talked about this. So this entrepreneur, which is good for society. You can read that there.
Non-status
Innovator,
capitalist and
risk
status
taker.
capitalist.
Non-state. Yeah, and then status capitalist.
So
That's what's
Primary
going on.
what's happening is, so I don't know. So Suhail,
Yeah.
just so you can read this. Where is it? Can we keep that
Suhaib,
on?
Suhaib.
So
Shoaib,
it's
sorry.
fine. Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine.
you
It's
want to
fine.
keep it on?
It's okay.
Yeah.
So, no, just keep the thing on. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, so this
The primary
non-statist capitalist is the
Yeah.
person who is being used to put their capital into things that affect us directly, like housing and stuff like that. So third world countries have none of this. It's just the statist capitalist, where the state is making, or the capitalists who work with the state and they make money all the time. The free societies was a not symptom, but the product of a free society, of a healthy society, is that you will have a lot of non-statist capitalists, where people who are not actually doing something innovative, but they can have a lot of money.
They hold a lot of capital, like a lot of land,
Yeah.
I guess.
Say.
Oh, please help.
Oh. We're experiencing some specific issues.
Oh, I think so he just went offline. That's fine. He'll
Yeah.
come back.
We'll come back.
He's got family to attend to. Yeah, so what made you, what did
made
you
me-
think about that whole...
Bro, I saw that.
The
I was
Portland,
like-
yeah.
I saw that and I was like, well, then what is the point of owning like all this? You know how like in Australia you've got like people who own multiple properties. Like there's like not one, there's like two, there's three, there's four, there's five, and they're going on to buy like a sixth investment property for their.
Oh, I know
3-year-old
someone, they
toddler,
own
you know.
8 properties, bro, in
No,
Australia.
they're buying their sixth
8 or 9
investment
properties
property.
they have.
They're buying their sixth investment property for their 3-year-old toddler, you know, and that investment property is like $1.5 million or something. And I'm just sitting here
Yeah.
going like, bro, like how is that even possible? I'm like, you know,
No, but
is
if you're
that-
going to do it, you're going to do it the right way. Yeah, go for it.
But is that property, that $1.5 million property, bought with cash or with debt?
no, it's bought with equity.
Debt.
It's
Debt,
bought with equity.
equity.
Yeah, debt. I
Debt,
mebt,
right?
Equity
So-
is a very
So it's
fancy
not,
word
it's
for
not
debt.
an
but yeah.
investment property. Yeah, so it's basically
It-
debt. So
It's
Yeah.
debt
so
investment.
let's
No,
say-
no, no, no. You
Investing
don't.
in debt.
let's
Sorry, Asif, you what you have to understand is in Australia, there are two kinds of properties that you can buy. One is a property that you live in, okay? The second type of property which gets taxed at a higher rate because which gets taxed and actually has potential earnings and government tracks it in a
But
different
the
way.
government gives you that money back as well.
Yeah, the government gives you that money. The capital
call it
gains
negative
tax and all-
gearing. We'll talk
negative
about
gearing,
it.
capital
Yeah.
gains tax, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the second type of property is the investment property, which is where you're not going to live, but you're going to rent it out to somebody. So when I say investment property, that's what I'm actually trying to say. I'm not saying that the
Yeah.
property is actually a good investment or something.
Bought with good cash. Yeah.
Good bought with good
It's not
cash or
bought- it's
something,
not-
something like that. It's
Yeah.
just it's not.
So
It's
it's just
a
debt.
lingo. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that. Yeah.
People forget there's a physics to economics. Like there's a science to economics. Not everybody can be a king. There can
That's
only
right.
be one king.
The king be king.
There can only be so
The
many
king stay
real
king.
estate.
The
Yeah.
king stay king.
It's like in Lord of the Rings, right? The guy who owns the ring, they cannot share power because
Yeah.
the one ring only serves one master.
Yeah.
So what's happening is, and I was telling this to Omar, was that when these YouTubers and these wannabe real estate tycoons start sharing this information, they are just trying to keep their property values up and higher. It's the same concept in Bitcoin. If I propagate Bitcoin as the ultimate thing, it will, oh man, look at this guy. Umar has like, he used to have like 10 Bitcoins and it was like $150. Now it's
Yeah.
almost $100,000.
$150,000
or more.
Right.
Yeah, or more, right? So now, oh wow, he did that. Wow. But the only thing is that it's only $150,000 because he is holding it. The moment he
Right.
sells it, the value comes down. So the basics of economics, people don't read about it, people don't understand it, and then we talk about it like we were talking about it in school, that not teaching our kids finances, right? Similarly, I feel adults are not taught economics. They're being
Correct.
distracted from economics. So people have no clue how things work, and nobody cares because they were getting money. People who work for a business, the business is making more money because they have, they work for a multinational, and the smart people who work for those multinationals are getting good money and they're enjoying their life, going for cruises, driving a Porsche, or having multiple homes, $1.5 million worth of house for a 3-year-old on that. So they have other things going on, so they don't want to educate themselves. And then, like anything else, if you don't educate yourself, you are falling into a perpetual hole. And until shit goes away, lifestyle goes away, things are becoming hard, people have to keep up with Jonas's, and if they
Yeah.
can't, then shit will be like, oh, I have nothing. Literally, I have nothing. And
The weird part is that they
maybe
talk
that's
about
when-
financially becoming independent and passive income, but then they talk about at the same time, like, look, I've got this Lamborghini. Because
They
of passive
talk
income.
about taking on they talk about taking on astronomical debt now, so
Yeah.
that when the market when the value of whatever asset you're holding appraises, you become wealthy or something like that. And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, but I'm exposing myself to like this huge amount of risk. Nobody sees that. Like you don't actually want to like even discuss that in the room. It's like the uncomfortable. It's like the elephant
but
wearing the
I
red
think
underpants. It's like
But
nobody
I
wants
think the
to judge
problem
as
is this,
realistic.
right? So me being an immigrant, because I stayed I was born there and I then came to Australia, right? जो सबसे बड़ी चीज़ है is that we need to understand, like, us Desi people, actually not just Desi, most people around the world, that whole people from 50s onwards, from the 1950s onwards, or 60s, I think especially onwards, this whole concept of that a man needs to have property, one house, at least build a house, and that somehow is a status of symbol, status of stability. It means a lot of things to a lot of men, right? So, like, my dad, he worked all his life in Dubai, and then his whole idea was, oh shit, I'm gonna build this huge fucking house back in Pakistan. So in a way, it's kind of like flex as well. You're kind of flexing as well to people back home, like, look, I got this fucking property in a poshy area. And even here in the West is there. But I think that concept, like, I was listening to interview of Khabib, right? And, I think Patrick Bet-David asked him, you got all this money, and, do you think wealth has made any... He's saying that wealth has made no difference in my life. He's saying, like, in Dagestan where we live, we all live together. We just need home, food, just pray and just spend time with family and kids, and that's it. Money is not made any different. To them, owning a property, owning a block of land, and then having the second property, third, fourth, that is not like wealth creation through acquiring assets is not a thing. To them, it's all about hard work. You put the work in and you get the reward for it. He said that Dana White did not ask me, bro, don't you want to know how much money you're going to make with the Conor McGregor fight? He was like, I don't care. As long as there's enough money, I can look after my family. Doesn't really matter, He's saying that to them it's very surprising that to me, money is not So I think it's a kind of an economic disease in the West, especially in the Western countries and all that, because of inflation and all these things. It's kind of a bit of a cycle. You got inflation that is causing that kind of thinking, and that thinking is kind of again causing inflation. So it's kind of the snake that is eating itself kind of a theory. I don't know if it fits into that or not, but
I think what it is
economics.
what it is basically the runaway. It's basically the runaway American dream. That's what this is. It was
so
the
what is the American dream?
The
what
American
is the
dream was
the Australian dream hai, Desi dream hai.
all those dreams, right? All the okay, let's just forget about calling it the American dream, the Australian dream, the Desi dream.
It's the American nightmare. That's George.
Let's call it. Let's just.
That's a good movie title. I'm gonna patent that right now.
The American nightmare.
American nightmare. That's what you should call it, man. Fucking
the American. You know what the story should be, Asif bhai. I'll just give you a little bit of a lift off point here. Story should be this millennial guy. Okay, the American dream, the American nightmare should be this story about this millennial guy. Okay, who basically works in IT. Okay, he works as he's let's make him like a white person, right? And he's working in IT. And he's a millennial, and he works for one of the big four, or the big four, companies, right? He works for Apple, Google, or Facebook. So what happens is he goes and works for Facebook as a graduate. Okay, he works there for a while, then he gets laid off because of X, Y, and Z. Then from there he goes and works for Apple, then he gets laid off. Okay, all this time he's living in San Francisco, and he's paying shit tons of money in rent. Okay, he's paying shit tons of money at Whole Foods. And then after he gets laid off from Apple, he gets laid off from...
I go to Whole Foods. What the fuck?
I'm just saying. That's the life.
Is that owned by Amazon or Whole Foods?
Yeah, Whole Foods is Amazon now.
It is right.
There's a backstory to it. Why even though it's owned by Amazon, I go there. But
okay, we'll get to that.
We'll
continue your pitch, man.
So the story. So that's the thing. His entire life basically is living in a really expensive San Francisco Bay Area house, going and working for one big tech company, getting fired, going to another tech company, getting fired, going to another tech company, getting fired, going to another. He's just, the revolving door of tech companies is what's actually just keeping him alive. Okay, and he's living in his small apartment. He can't get married. Okay, because his wife is also his prospective
It's like a modern
partner.
day punch drug love.
Basically, that's what it is. Okay, that is the American nightmare right now. Okay, you go on Tinder.
Yeah,
Tinder,
that is the American nightmare.
Tinder is not actually designed to help you find long-term relationships. Like in the design of Tinder itself, the way Tinder is actually made, it's not made so that you can actually find long-term love. Long-term matchmaking was already perfected by shit like Match.com and stuff like back in the early era of the internet.
Websites.
Back in the early years of the internet, Match.com figured that shit out, and they're like, yeah, mate, you want long-term love? We're here. You want like a hookup stuff? Then go to Tinder, Grindr, and
Isn't that what
Bumble and all those
eHarmony is
things.
trying to do now? Is it eHarmony?
eHarmony?
Like
No,
in America
eHarmony
as
also.
well, or is just here?
No, eHarmony is also like they were also pretty big. But I think those big companies are now trying to go the opposite way. They're trying to become Tinder now, because Tinder is where all the money.
And what is Tinder? Like, so how Tinder makes money? What do they do?
So I think the way Tinder makes money is it actually asks. I think women can join for free or something, and I think the men have to pay, or something like that.
Men
I
get
think
scalped everywhere.
It's like a club, you know, where the
It's like
women
a
get
club,
to enter
yeah.
for free and the guards here.
I think
the
it's
bouncers
something
will
like
stop
that.
you
And,
from
scalp.
and you get
yeah.
and you get like, again, look, I've never used Tinder. I've only watched what other people say about Tinder, and this is like I'm making a best
I
guess
go
right
on
now.
Tinder.
Yeah.
No, there you go.
I go
So
on
you can
Tinder.
so
Yeah,
you
to see what's in the market.
see what's
hold
in
on.
the market.
I had a whole fight. I had a whole fight with my wife. She
Oh,
has
dear.
my email address, and I connected to Tinder, and she got the message activate Tinder, and apart from that, mess up,
नहीं यार,
which is okay. Well, but
Yeah.
my reasoning, I have a reasoning. I don't know if
So your
Umar
reason is मैं
knows
cheat नहीं करना,
back-
मैं खुल के दिखा रहा
What
हूँ
is
सब
your
कुछ.
reasoning, bro?
No. So
Second
I
wife.
like to observe. No.
I know his second. I know his. You like to observe. What is it?
Yeah, so I like to observe, and I was like, I want to know what kind of women or what kind of women are like
Bro, they-
around where I am, and like what's the mindset, like what are they looking for in man. So I was
Yeah.
like researching on
That's right, bro.
was the society's becoming like it's a good.
Are they
good
property
way to
oriented,
look
or are
at
they
it.
traveling on living on a cruise oriented kind of people?
Exactly, what
Or do they
what's
want to live
going on
fast with Lambos and
Yeah.
yeah.
No, apparently most of them are usually like, unfortunately, like 40 plus women.
Yeah.
You know,
That's sad. Yeah.
so we can go completely into a different direction with this.
Oh, because the young ones,
conversation.
the young
Why is
ones are
that?
all hooking up on TikTok now. The young ones are all hooking up on TikTok right now. That's what they're doing. There's this whole.
Yeah.
There's
The
this
weird
whole,
part is that in TikTok people make a profile,
Yeah.
put a few videos in, and then start dating based on that. The
Yeah.
content creation is not the
The-
real reason why they got into TikTok to begin with.
But on TikTok, there's a new trend that's actually happening, which is even worse now. The whole sugar daddy and sugar baby trend is also happening on TikTok, where you have a bunch of young women who go on there who'll post a couple of nice videos, and then they'll meet like some really rich guys over there, and then that's how they start dating these rich people. But it's like a sugar daddy and sugar
I
baby
personally think
relationship.
there's nothing wrong with sugar daddy. I think it's completely fine to have a sugar daddy.
No,
I
provided
actually
provided
work-
that.
I used to work at a retail store, and this customer came in with his Bentley, okay, and I sold him a Bluetooth, back in the day, for the kids who are like that one kid who's like listening to us. Back in the day, they didn't have Bluetooths in the car, so you had to
That's
buy
true.
a Bluetooth fucking
Speaker.
device.
You had to
It
buy
would
a
connect
Bluetooth
to your
speaker.
thing. It'll be just a fucking speaker, and it was fucking clip onto your visor of your
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
This guy had a Bentley, and he said, "Fuck, I paid all this money, and there's no fucking, Bentley, there's no Bluetooth in my car. So can you fix me up?" I said, "Okay, take me to a car, and I'm happy to install it for you." The guy was not obviously,
Tech
technical,
literate or whatever.
and he told me come in, and then I went and I put it on, and I saw his car. I sat in the Bentley for the first time. I told him if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living? He was like, I said, obviously you have a business because, no job pays this much. And he goes like, yeah, I run a website, a bunch of websites. I was like, what website? He was like, have you heard of, and he was very confident. Like the way he talked to me, he's like very casually he just told me, oh, sugardaddy.com.au. I was like, what? What is sugar? And I asked him what is sugar daddy? And then he looked at me for that half a second thinking, this guy doesn't know
guy's
what
serious?
he's doing. He was like, he's saying, why don't you visit the website and just, give me some feedback? And I was like, yeah, cool. So I came back into the store and, this guy's gone. And I told him, that guy, man, that millionaire who's got a Bentley, he owns these bunch of websites. He's in the IT business or something. And, my manager goes to me, this is 10 years ago. My manager goes to me what
is
business?
IT
I said
business.
some sugardaddy.com. And I was like, let's check it out. Let's use the work computer to do it. And she's like, no, don't open it here. You know, so yeah, bro. I mean, if someone is looking after your needs and there's a complete business transaction behind it, what's wrong with it?
You know, okay. Let me
According to my
caveat this by
philosophy,
saying,
no
let me
problem.
No,
let
no.
me
Philosophically speaking, it's completely could be wrong from a spiritual
Why?
point of view, whatever. But I'm saying like,
No, that's
there's a lot of
spiritual.
people
What
in
you're
this
talking
world.
about is
Not
spiritual and
everybody.
morality.
Yeah. Morality. I know from moral point of view, all that is wrong. I
I'm
know, but
talking
I'm talking from a business transaction
philosophically.
point. There's nothing wrong to have that business.
no, I'm okay.
yeah,
Hang
but
on.
that's a
I'm saying
philosophical thing.
if from a business
True,
transaction, if from a business transaction point of view, yeah, fine. Okay, let's accept the argument that there's nothing wrong.
नहीं अगर
But
कोई
here-
और करना चाहता है तो हम कौन होते हैं रोकने वाले?
नहीं
मैं
नहीं
खाली ये
वो तो है
That's all.
okay fine, I agree with that, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
On TikTok, when these young women do this stuff, they are just doing it because they wanted to get attention, essentially. Okay, and then the sugar daddies are doing it because they have the money. I'm just not sure that there is a clear understanding of what this relationship is, because that's not the platform for sugar
I think
daddies
they
and
do,
sugar
bro.
babies.
The idea is that I will send you some nude pickies and sweet talk to you at night, put you to sleep or whatever over the phone, and you just look after me in terms of money, or it can go even further into physical or whatever. I think they know exactly what they're into. That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
well,
Like this
if
whole thing
you
that we need
you
to
know
protect.
your sugar babies and sugar daddies now, so I'll take your word for it. Is that
No, because I think that if the website exists 10 years
Yeah.
ago, if the website existed,
10
think
years
about
ago,
it, right?
yeah.
That means the people who are signing up to be sugar daddies
they're 10 years
and
older
people who
now.
are specifically going to that website to sign up as their sugar babies or whatever you want to call it, they knew the transaction is completely legit. Like they know
Yeah,
exactly.
but there it's legit. But on TikTok,
what they're
on
into.
TikTok, it's like, oh no, I'm just going to create some videos about me dancing and shaking my ass, and that's it. It's not. There's no like clear like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this for that. Some people might be doing it. Some people might be like, oh look, this person, Cindy got her sugar daddy through TikTok. I'm gonna go and do the same, and they probably intend to do that, but. There's no clear understanding that if you're gonna go do this and if you're gonna get into this kind of relationship with all these people, like
Yeah,
the whole
but there's
NPC
these
thing
people
that
who go to
happened.
Thailand, bro. I saw this documentary. This ABC News.
There's plenty of
I think 30
documentaries,
minute
bro.
special or something on it on ABC, where a lot of Aussie
Yeah.
men,
They go to
65
Bali.
plus,
Bali
60
and
plus,
Bali
70
and
plus.
Thailand, yeah.
They're going to Bali. They're going to Thailand and all that, and having
Bro, people in
paid
Bali
wife.
hate us,
You pay someone to be your wife, and she gives you sex, food, cleans the house, looks after everything, and shuts up when you want her to shut up.
Bro, people in Bali.
That's
people
what
in
that
Bali.
relationship is all about. That's the kind of relationship they have.
If you go
I know it's
to
completely immoral.
Bunch of misogynists.
if you go to if you go to Bali, if you go to Bali,
Yeah.
bro, people, if you say you're Australian, they hate you, bro. The people of the Balinese people, they actually hate you. Okay, they show you this
Yeah, but
face,
they know at the
and
same
then-
time they need the income, the tourist,
What-
that sweet dollars
sweet,
coming
sweet
in, bro.
dollar bills. I know, but at the same time, they
Yeah,
hate you.
dollar. Yeah.
Okay, I need dollar.
It's a love
No,
hate
that's
Yeah, I know.
correct. It's a love hate relationship, but bro,
जैसे
that's why
हैदराबादी
when I went
बोलते
to
हैं
Bali,
ना, dollar.
dollar.
That's the reality. But that is the reality,
That-
I mean, look
that-
at all
yeah.
look at all the Desi people. There are a lot of grandfathers out there, especially in India, who believe that British shouldn't have left us.
Mm.
They left us and we are fucked. That's what they're saying. Right? Some people want to be slave all their life, might go for it, Like some people want to be in that position. You have to understand. Dude, a friend of ours, their missus went to watch Atif Aslam concert. Okay, this guy came to perform here, and there's a bunch of people who went. And I could not believe what this lady was telling me on the dinner table. She told me that all these people were going and trying to touch Atif Aslam, trying to high five with him and all that. And for a moment, I thought I should go there and do it. But then I kind of realized, nahi, main ye nahi karungi. Like, but I'm thinking to myself that is why you fucking went. It's like you're going all the way to a Michael Jackson concert, fucking taking 3 flights to get there, and then suddenly when you get that opportunity to touch him, you should have touched him. I said, if you're going to do idol worship, you should make sure you do it properly. Because that's the whole concept. If you go to that fucking concert, then you should. If I go to a Red Chili Pepper concert, right? Red Hot Chili Pepper concert, and if I get a chance to shake their hand, I would do it. Because, I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to live up to your ultimate fascination, which is that. There's a reason why Shah Rukh Khan or Tom Cruise and all these people, when they come on the street, fucking people want to take selfies and they want to, like, I know it's a very irrational behavior, but dude, for a moment, people lose their mind. There are women
Starstruck.
who want to
They
look
get
like Kim
starstruck.
Kardashian. Yeah, there are women who want to look like her. And that's the most weird part. It's like going to, even men, right? They'll go get a hair, they'll go to in the old days when Amitabh Bachchan and these guys were there, even with Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, all these stars, when they were there, people would copy their hairstyle. Like Elvis, man, he was a prime example, right? So even men have that fascination where they try to, have that. There was a time when Freddie Prinze Jr., or I think, Freddie Prinze or Freddie Prinze Jr., he was like a, what do you call, television sweetheart, and a lot of women loved him. Teen girls loved him, and a lot of men would go to the barber and tell him, "Look, I want to look like Freddie Prinze," right? So now it's kind of the opposite. Men they want a slightly different touch when it comes. They want that uniqueness. They want to look slightly different from. They don't want that straight up
Everybody else.
haircut like, let's say, for example, Kanye has
Yeah.
or Jay-Z has.
No, but there is
Or
a,
any
there is a
new-
trend though.
yeah.
There's this trend among young men who want to get a skin fade, because that's what a lot of the
They want a
rappers-
skin fade, but they
Yeah.
want it to look not exactly like that. They want their own unique identity. It's like getting a custom number plate. You know what I'm saying? But with women, it's kind of different. It's not about custom number plates. It's about blind look
guys are
like that
misogynist,
person. Like
bro.
when, no, I'm just looking at trends, man. Like Diana, when she was there, everybody used to just copy whatever she was wearing.
He's right
and
though.
her
Like even
dresses.
okay, even
Fact
if
that
he is a
you're
misogynist, he's
observing
right.
is, He makes you a misogynist. That's how I see it. Sorry,
Is
that's
that
how
is
I-
that is that
I
is
don't
that
know. I'm not. I don't know. I
Seeing
love women.
people.
No, that's not.
is that the culture in Canada right now? Like the fact that you're observing is that
I
you're a
think it's,
misogynist.
So, so there was I don't know if you know, was Slavoj Zizek. Slavoj
What?
Zizek. There was this,
Oh, yeah. That
It's the-
the communist, the Marxist, I think,
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
So he said that he was telling a story in one of his speeches. It was like back in Soviet Union. Nobody could criticize Stalin. So if somebody criticizes Stalin, right, and someone who notices that and says, "Hey, stop criticizing Stalin," that guy gets killed first. You come on.
You mean the whistleblower gets killed first?
No.
The guy who tells you not to.
Not to whistleblow gets killed first, because you're kind of
Oh, okay. So
questioning.
okay. I see. All right.
Yeah. So it's like because he's noticing it, he's a misogynist.
Well,
How
I
dare
think.
you?
Yeah, so I don't know, man,
How
what's
dare
going
you.
on, but I think
It's a joke, guys.
even in.
I know.
But I think media has got a big role to play. Obviously, recently the Animal movie that's come out in
Oh, bro.
the cinemas. I did not get to watch it. I mean, I watched it again, and I think it's a brilliant movie. But we're not talking about the movie. We're just talking about the phenomena that. Yeah. So just the phenomena itself, that in Bollywood, in Hollywood, in all these big movie industries, right? I'm not sure about China. I don't watch Chinese movies. Except I think Korean dramas, most of these big movies that are coming out, like the old stars are making a comeback, right? You got your Tom Cruises and you got your like, for example, Ranbir Kapoor, Shah Rukh Khan. All these guys are making a comeback, and in their comebacks, the movies that they're doing, they're going back to the whole 10-year, 15-year-old formula, which is basically the strong, silent type, men who come in and they're imperfect and they're toxic masculinity, all that stuff is going on, right? So why do you think that is happening? And it's even happening in Hollywood. I mean, I kind of feel that Tom Cruise is kind of trying to steer clear of that in his movies. He's trying to make sure that women kind of play a part and everything. But the weird part is this, right? If you're on a mission to save your country, if you're on a mission to save the fucking world, right? I think safety of your female companion on the fucking train should be disregarded. The fact that he's putting himself through fucking danger to save her again and again, right? And at the same time, not take credit for it. You know what I mean? She has not acknowledged that this fucking guy who's next to me has saved me. You know, that whole fucking train was coming down. Sorry, spoiler alert. Like, you know, he's basically saving her. He could have just jumped through and saved himself so he can get to the fucking submarine.
You know, I'll tell you one thing. You know what? James Bond would have
Which
done.
I don't understand. So,
Classic James Bond would have done that.
Now you are making an impossible mission even more impossible by fucking having
But that's
latching
life.
onto another lady, huh?
But that's life. That's every human being, right? Like, you have somebody you love, and then you have the things that you have to do to keep that somebody you love in the future, and at the same time
Alive, you
save
mean?
them. When in the
Yeah, but in
future, like,
reality,
you're making
the
the
girls
world
he
a
ended
better
up loving, they all fucking started dying in Mission Impossible. It keeps happening again and again. All the women that he fucking saves, they end up dying. Like, you know, it doesn't make sense in every Mission Impossible. What's the one in
Maybe
Sydney?
That's why it didn't do that well.
You got to do it like James Bond, okay? For Queen and country, they come first. Women don't matter. if as a byproduct you get saved, that's fine. But I mean, that's what I kind of felt. They kind of cucked his character in the last movie, Daniel Craig's last outing as James Bond. They turned him into a married man. So I mean, it just kills that entire fantasy. You know.
Who
Didn't they
directed
kill
that?
him?
Fukan,
Sam
the guy who did
Mendes?
the first detective, what's the detective thing that we watched with the Woody Harrelson and
True Detective.
True Detective.
True Detective.
So the guy who directed the first season of True Detective, he directed the Kari Fukanagi or something. He's got a Japanese kind of sounding name. A very good director. But I was like, why, bro? Why would you do that? I have huge amount of respect for Danny Boyle. He actually ended up not fucking doing the James Bond movie because it didn't fit how he wanted to do it.
Who?
Rather than I don't know what's going on, man. Apparently
who?
Nolan is in the running to direct his next James Bond movie, so
What? Danny?
I think he
who?
would love that opportunity. Huh?
Danny who?
Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle.
He was attached to do a thing, and he said that I'm not going to do it because they don't want to do it my way. So fuck it. You know, I'll go back.
But Danny
to
Boyle
making
has always
fucking,
been that kind
normal
of.
drama.
He's been that kind of a director, though. You don't do it his way, he'll just walk out. He'll be like,
Yeah, but think about it, bro. If Nolan does a James Bond movie, what kind of James Bond movie that has to be?
And
Yeah, but and it'll go in backwards. You'll have James Bond, like in flashbacks.
Bond. You know that last scene in the last movie where when the missile comes and James Bond just goes exploded. Like it'll start from James Bond being in bed and he'll just wake up and be like, it'll be like Memento, but like James Bond.
I think the villain, the main thing you got to talk about in a Nolan movie, in a Nolan James Bond movie, is the villain itself. If Nolan comes in, maybe the villain is someone who is not even like.
I want Tom Hardy.
There is no villain. The hero himself is the villain. James Bond himself is the villain. Like he is the
Bond
hero
set
and the villain
himself
itself. Yeah, because I think that'll be the twisted thing that I don't know. 'Cause that's why I
Then,
think
bro,
it's
look,
hard.
if the hero is the villain,
Yeah.
that's Total Recall. So it'll be like Total Recall then. The hero is the villain.
Yeah, but there are rumors that he wants to do it, but he hasn't been offered or something. That's what he keeps saying. But I think the problem is that if he does it, it'll be such a limiting factor, man. Like, it's like asking Stanley Kubrick to fucking make Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? It's not going to work, man. It's like you should say no to it. Do not do it. Do not get into that trap, of doing. But then he started with Batman, and, because I think the reason why they've approached him is for a complete reboot. Because, they're looking to restart it with a new person, new guy. And apparently the rumors are it was that guy in Bullet Train. The Japanese movie, I think. Bullet Train, was it? The
Bullet
one
Train?
with Brad Pitt and everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Tangerine. I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway. Even in the movies, I mean, man, I don't know. After Animal and I watched a Dream Scenario from Nicolas Cage. After all that, bro, I don't think I watched anything great. I watched Beef on Netflix. It's an A24 show. And I think it's the best mini series I've seen. Like, it's the best show I've seen in quite a while.
Beef is actually quite nice. I saw the first episode. Sorry, the first episode and the second episode. And it was quite good.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not sure how Netflix or all these streaming companies how they pick their content, because it's a mystery to me. I think it's a mystery. In reality, it's not. I think all they do is they go like, okay, this guy, he made that
Oh,
show.
this guy, Aaron
Let's
Taylor
get him.
Johnson, is he gonna be the new
Yeah.
James Bond?
No, he's not. The rumors are that he is on the list. Okay,
Interesting.
but there are a lot of people were on the list. Idris Elba was on the list at a time. A black James Bond, but I think that's not happening. So, but I
Actually,
think
he's probably
that
the
if you
only
look
black
at
James Bond I will watch. Idris Elba is probably the only black James Bond I'll
The-
see. I'll be like,
my
let's ring a
idea,
bell right
I
there.
watched. So James Bond, right, is not a huge part of my life, but I guess I've been across it like all of you, because our parents or our
Yeah, man, my
uncles or
dad was a
someone is has been
big into
growing
it,
up
yeah.
with James Bond. My dad grew up with Sean Connery, so I think that the taste of men as how they are portrayed on screen is, I think, a very underrated thing that we don't look at. How men, it's very different from how women think about how they need to be. That's why superheroes don't work. So, like, superheroines don't work because men are obsessed with how the embodiment of heroes or a male character needs to look on screen. Women are not obsessed in that manner. They're more obsessed with the drama. There's a reason why fucking The Crown has got millions and millions and millions of fucking viewers. Right? Game
That's
of
why
Thrones.
Bridgerton works.
The reason women started watching it is only for one simple reason. It's because there are women in power in that show. And the politics that is going on. That's it. Right? So I think the main thing was that, that's why superheroes exist. So James Bond was kind of like a modern day superhero for people in the 60s or 70s. And he would slap women around and shit like that, which kind of is like, a bit of a power play. It's like, it is a superpower. you know?
Nice.
Like in
Nice-
real
nice
life, you can't do
Valentine-
that.
This is a nice Valentine
It's very,
special.
very nice.
Yeah, it is our
conversation.
Valentine special in a way, I mean, think about it, right? Like back in the day, I mean,
Actually,
publicly, you cannot.
that is a great topic for this. There's
is
a
a
great
fantasy.
title for this.
It is a
no,
fantasy,
I'm
bro.
saying
It is
no. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm just like I'm not trying to go against you. I'm saying what Asif bhai said. This is a great title for this video. Mind the
Valentine Day
gap.
special.
Valentine Day special. this is the best. This is the best thing.
Yeah, today is the 15th. I think it's gonna go up. Yeah, so
Doesn't matter.
I think the whole, like, I saw From Russia with Love, and I've seen all the Sean Connery movies, like Goldfinger.
I've seen
and
all of
that.
the James Bond
Like-
until now. I guess I've seen. all
Yeah,
of
so
them.
in Goldfinger, I think is the one where he's questioning the girl, like, who tell me who was it, or
Yeah, and he
something like that.
slaps
He's
her
like
around,
slapping
yeah.
her around, right? And like
and I
in
saw that.
today's
I'm like,
world,
oh,
obviously he's on a fly.
I was like, holy
Yeah, unless you're Kiefer Sutherland, you can torture, but you can't slap around.
You can't slap
Right?
around.
You
There
can
you go.
understand that, right? You can torture,
Yeah,
right?
you can torture.
9
is the-
seasons of fucking torture. I think 10 seasons of torture for Kiefer Sutherland, but no slapping around, right? So what I'm saying is that in itself, the idea of showing that on screen in the 60s where you can slap women around, in itself
Yeah.
is a power play. In itself is a fantasy, right? Now you've taken all those things away for men to experience on screen. The only thing you're left with is now action set pieces where you're narrowly escaping. In the old James Bond movies, there is no narrow escaping. It's James Bond knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. He's
No,
got
that's true.
everything planned, and he's sitting in a fucking.
And there's a plan if the plan fails. That also is there. There's
There's
a redundancy
always
as
a
well.
plan if a plan fails, and James Bond always wins. There is no fucking failure, right? There's no going somewhere and making a mistake and getting blown to bits and then recovering from that failure. Like they got him touching with his feelings.
He cries, bro.
That's what's
Like,
going on.
He full,
Yeah, he's crying, I
he
saw
full
this
sale
movie,
cries,
he's
bro.
crying.
And I was like,
Yeah, I'm like, why the fuck are you crying,
Like,
my
why
dude? I
is
didn't
this
come.
guy
I didn't pay
crying?
to come and watch you cry.
Men cry sometimes.
Yeah, but not my James Bond. Not James Bond. I understand men need to cry. On this fucking special day, Valentine's Day, we can't be like, can't have. Anyway, mate, it's a failure. It's a complete failure. It's like, there's nothing to turn to anymore. And even the new Indiana Jones movies, they're a fucking disaster, bro. Star Wars, fucking disaster. India, all the Disney shit that is going on. Complete fucking
But
disaster.
did you
utter
see the
disaster.
killer?
Actually-
I've seen the killer.
The killer, if we take the theory that that on the internet and including you that are putting forward, is that spoilers alert again, is that he purposely missed the shot. Okay, He purposely put himself in that situation.
Yeah.
That is a very age-old, ancient psyche of men. Risk-taking, playing with danger, this whole thing. So the killer showcases that. But at the same time, from a moral point of view, is that like where would you put it? Like, what do you think? Is that morally
Moral
right?
point of view.
Like if you say that guy who climbs solo. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast like 7-8 times. There's a guy, he climbs mountains without any fucking ropes, without any hooks, nothing. Fucking
Or
he
rock
just
climbing.
climbs
He
with his
just rock
fingers
climbing.
and
Freehand rock climbing.
Free climbing, right? All those people who dive deep into the ocean without any oxygen or whatever.
Free diving,
So they're looking for a certain thrill. Risk. मगर उसमें क्या है ना? They're only putting themselves into risk. For their danger. For that, same thing with Formula 1 drivers. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson, the Top Gear guy, he says that new Formula 1 is shit. It's bullshit. All this is garbage, the new Formula 1. He's saying in the 60s and 70s, it was really dangerous. Like, the Senna, जब वो लोग थे, Michael Schumacher, जब शुरू में आया था, 70s, 80s तक, it was 90s तक, it was amazing. After that, they put on all these rules and regulations for safety and all that because a lot of drivers were dying. But mate, it's like, that's the idea, like you want those cunts to be sitting in those fucking fiberglass bodies so that they can
Death
fucking
machines, eh?
cause pain to themselves. You're paying for that extreme level of sports, Formula 1 was extreme. अब बहनचोद ये बाकी आए हैं सारे कि भाई ये extreme sport and jumping off buildings and all. That was a true form of extreme sports like UFC. All that is extreme. How far you want to go, right? So what I'm saying is that in the killer, that philosophy of going to extreme, the main difference I think is there's someone who's causing harm to themselves. They're taking risk on themselves, like Houdini or whatnot. But you got now this guy here who is involving other people in there, their own loved ones. His fucking girlfriend, I think, or missus, gets, smashed to pieces in the movie, in Killer, right?
I would argue that because he did that, now he's smarter.
Smarter for getting his
No.
wife fucking smashed.
No, no.
You
Now,
misogynist.
now he knows. Now he knows how to
Valentine.
go behind it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, but he
As a character.
Okay.
If, let's say I think like the killer, and I go, life's boring. I make a lot of money. I just have to go kill some people. I have no emotions. It's just a job. Like you do a
Right.
job, killing people. With bills. I kill people with bullets, but
Yeah.
It's too
There's
safe.
no challenge at work.
Yeah, I'm talking to myself all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have any fucking excitement. I'm so good at what I do. Fuck, I fucked this up. And see
Right.
what happens. And the first thing he notices is that people know where he lives.
Right.
And then he goes and kills everybody in the way who knows anything about him.
Hmm.
Right? So I
Yeah,
think in the anyways, I'm interpreting
Interpreting that way, yeah. Interpretation is that.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm bad with language sometimes, but
Don't apologize. My
Yeah.
Iranian fucking language. They
It's
came and
okay.
conquered us. Fucking took over.
We were forced to
and
learn
then they
it.
left. They fucking left us. And now we have to fucking learn their language. What the fuck?
And now we have to teach it
come
back to them.
Chasing them. We have to
We have
migrate to their country.
No, we have to teach it back to them because they forgot how to speak their language.
Teach it back to them. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Benchot.
I used to work at a retail store back in the day when I was selling. This Irish fella walked in with his BlackBerry, and he wanted a new SIM card. Okay, and he's telling me, he's trying to explain to me that he needs a SIM card. He's like a 20-year-old guy, 25 or whatnot, young kid. And I'm like standing there. I do not understand anything he was saying, right? And then I tell my manager, who's like a proper Anglo Aussie guy. I told him like, I don't know what he's saying. He's like, fuck, I don't understand anything either. It's like, And there was,
No,
we also
Aussie
had
says
all
that.
these like, we also had all these like handsets, like the ones where they used to hang up on the wall. You would press the buttons and then make the call with the long fucking cord. I think for people again,
Yeah.
who were born in the mobile generation, we used to have home phones. Okay, back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So old people, when their home phones stop working or break, they would come in to the
into
store
the shop, yeah.
to buy one. And this lady, she came in, she was Irish, and she was, I don't know, 65, 70, and she goes to me, I'm looking for a new, like a new, phone. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't really, like, I'm finding really a lot of trouble trying to understand you. She's like, oh, don't worry, you're not the only one. Like, that's why I never call the call center. Every time I call your call center, don't get me. So I have to come to the fucking store because they can't understand what
Now
I'm
I
saying.
see a brown guy there too.
So she called and she would call and someone in Philippines would pick it up. So she was like, not only I have to fucking make the effort to understand what the fuck they're saying, I have to be understood as well at the same time. It's a complete shit show. So I think AI is something that might help in the future with that. Like you speak in Hindi if you're calling from a village or whatever, and that you think no, not really, or is it a fucking psyop?
No, Microsoft has already done it.
I don't know, man.
Microsoft's done it. Yeah, they've done it
Microsoft's
for
done
I
the
think
whole
government.
Indian village thing. They've done it like.
I saw that video.
But you know,
Customer service means you gotta service the customer.
service the
Service.
customer.
Yeah, customer comes to you and he says, "Listen, I can't figure this shit out," and the guy says, "Don't worry, sir, I will fix this." Instead of, "What's your age? What's your fucking PO box?
Yeah.
How many people live in your house?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Confirm your address.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, my phone line's shit. Then you
Yeah.
call again."
Exactly.
go
Yeah,
through
can
the
you call
menu
Oh my
again?
God.
Yeah, man. Fuck, bro. It's so spot on.
Just, hey, dude, I don't know how to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, that's
A
what I'm
lot
calling.
of people are paying money to this monopolistic telecom, and you get paid well good. Here's the problem. Fix this, please, so I can keep doing the shit I'm good at.
What really doesn't bother me, but what is like kind of fascinating to me is that we were ruled by the British, and then we have our own culture, and then we go to another country, we settle there, and then we migrate to all these other countries, and we see how things work in the West. Their first world issues, their universal issues are there definitely. So like I think housing is an issue that's happening everywhere, not just in certain countries. Okay?
I'm a mini globalist.
Mini globalist, correct. We have global issues that are
I'm a
happening. Right?
multinational corporation
Like
myself.
climate change and gender ideology. Anyway,
So
so
I'm a mini globalist.
Yeah.
So
You don't believe in
wherever they
borders.
go, I don't believe in borders. I think that if there's a good idea, you should take it. And
so do you
improve
think that
upon it.
the immigration crisis that they're calling it in America, is that really a crisis or not really a crisis?
No, it is a crisis.
So I mean,
I
you're
don't
telling
believe
me-
in borders myself,
Yeah,
but I respect the other person's border.
yeah,
There's a difference. Do I believe in borders?
yeah.
No. But
so
the other
our
person
view-
believes in this border. Like
no, what I'm saying is our
I-
view of, like, for example, China. Like China, the way things work there, the way human beings deal with other human beings, the way they have a certain understanding of the world is so different, man, from the way we, in our world live. Like in every facet of their life, yes, they are family oriented, we are family oriented, but I don't believe it when they say they're family oriented because, nobody's having kids over there. Does it mean not having kids, you're not really family oriented? You say you believe in family,
let me
but
tell
you don't
you
have any.
something, pendejo. Let me tell you something,
Pendejo.
dude. Yeah, human nature is human everywhere. Okay, just keep that in mind. Human nature is human everywhere, in any society, anything. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like they have children, they have family values. Everybody has the same. A person in Africa, they have the same. Person in Middle East, Russia, Europe, everybody has the same. It's that indoctrination that happens. Like they kind of have to follow or show that they follow.
That's what I'm saying. Indoctrination might be that. I think maybe you put it very nicely that, we're all the same, obviously. But the way human beings over there are behaving in China, for example, I would blame government
value.
for it,
There's
obviously.
a value chain, right? Like, so let's say a person in Pakistan has a different value than a person in India have a different value
Right.
in terms of how they value humans, and then the top level, the top G,
Yeah.
a top
The
G
elite.
elite society has a different thing, and then the people in that society look up to the top G, and then they like, I want to be
Right.
Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate is your new age
He's a new age
mini
Tony
guru.
Robinson.
globalist.
Mini
He's
global.
a new age
He's a
Sadhguru or
mini
something. Or what do you-
globalist. No, think
No, Andrew
about
Tate
it.
is definitely
He
the new
goes
age
to every
Sadhguru.
country.
100%.
No, but he goes to any country he wants until now, and he opens businesses, wives, children,
Cars,
and then he
women,
talks
money.
about it, and he's like, "Hey, this is the way I live." It's an individualist, globalist ideology, which kind of most men agree to at some level.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
So what
pack,
is
the
the?
wolf
But
pack.
what do you think is the pull? Like how? What is his pull? I mean, this has been discussed many times, I guess. But why do you think we didn't have individual like that from China? With a billion fucking people there.
No,
Why do
there
you think
probably
it
is
never
somebody
happened in
like that
China
in
or
China.
India?
No, there probably is. It's just that
Because they care about their family.
no, I think there is somebody like that in China. The problem is he speaks Chinese, so we don't probably see him, and he's probably popular
Oh
like
yeah,
on
if
Chinese
he
media
talks
or
up, they'll
something.
probably
I like-
he or she will shut him.
I
shut
like
him
this
down.
guy. Do you know about Elon Musk?
Like like Jack Ma. Yeah, it happened to him.
No.
No,
Do you know Elon
It's a
Musk?
mix. It's a
Go on Instagram.
Instagram.
What is that?
No.
Is it a meme?
No. Yeah, no. It's a real human being who
Acha.
looks like Elon Musk. And you
Elon
should watch
Musk's
his
Chinese
videos. It's
lookalike,
hilarious.
yes,
Go
yes.
there. On Instagram. Just you see. He's coming, he's like, yo, Elon Musk. It's hilarious. I like it.
Elon Musk
funny.
Chinese lookalike. Is that the one?
Yeah, Elon Musk. I'll send you the link.
Dude, this is
no, bro,
uncanny.
yeah,
Man. It looks like AI or something. It's like
Holy shit, bro! Is it? Is this guy a
It's probably
lookalike
AI,
or
bro.
is he?
it's an AI.
Or is it AI? I
No,
think it's
he's
AI.
it's
bro.
AI.
He's
I have a feeling
lookalike.
it's AI.
Feeling
No,
is I have the
I
same
have a feeling
feeling.
it's AI, bro.
Share this now.
I've done enough stable diffusion to know that this is probably AI.
Yeah,
Everyone,
it's a
I'm
AI.
Elon Musk. Money.
This is not an AI. This is a
Oh, it's
real
not
person.
AI.
Oh, my bad, huh? My bad. Hey,
It
My
looks
bad.
like a deep fake to
follow me.
It's a
I'm the
deepfake, bro.
Twitter.
Yeah, it looks like a deep.
It's not a
It feels
deep
like
fake,
Twitter. It
dude.
feels like
It's not a
Okay.
deep fake.
You think it's
It's
not a
not a
deep
deep
fake?
fake.
Far out.
No, I don't think. I know it's not a deep fake.
It's not a deep fake.
No,
But
it's
I
a real
mean-
human being. Wait.
He's got a TikTok as well. This guy.
it's called it's YILONGMA Yi Long Ma.
I mean, there are videos now trying to expose Elon Musk's
Trying to
fake
expose him
videos
now.
and all that. Yeah. So anyway, man, with AI, it's gonna be hard. I mean, eventually that guy is gonna come forward. If he is fake, if it's not, then he's like the most, like he's the best probably doppelganger of any kind of I've seen in the past.
Yeah, bro, this is like uncanny. The resemblance is like so much.
Yeah, the resemblance is amazing. Yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying is that, this whole simulation thing, when you look at what's going on in China, the way people behave, like in terms of food and just, their aspirations and all
I know.
that.
I think it's cultural. It's okay, and I've actually consumed a
नहीं,
lot
culture
of,
है मगर ये सही कह रहा है. He's saying that the government has a huge role to play, the way people
yeah.
treat
So
each other.
when I say culture, right? You know that in China, if you want to actually go and look for traditional Chinese culture, you can't go to China. You have to go to Hong Kong. You have to go to Taiwan. You have to go to like
What do
any
you mean
country other
traditional
than China.
Chinese culture?
For example, like if you want to find out traditional Chinese history, like real
Right.
Chinese history, you want to find actual real traditional Chinese culture before the CCP came in and
Yeah.
instituted their rituals and practices, you cannot go to China. You have to go to
Okay,
Hong
guys.
Kong.
Wait, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put this on.
You're
Wait a
gonna
minute.
jump off?
Oh
Okay.
no, I'm just gonna
Oh,
show
okay.
you. since
Go for it. Go for it.
Go for it, bro.
okay, there you go. Can you see?
Yeah. Geelong Meta. I can't hear though, but we can definitely see.
Why can't you hear? You can't hear?
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have sound or
Yeah.
it enables sound.
No, it
No, it
has
does
sound.
have sound.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
It's a sharing thing. I think you have to
maybe
enable
my
sound and stuff. It happened with me as well.
Yeah, I think you
Okay.
you got MacBook.
Anyway.
That's
It
fine.
fucking locks everything down. Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
it's all right.
So
I think
I'm gonna share. You get the idea. So
yeah, I got the idea.
There's
Got the
He's standing in front of his
happening.
car.
If because none of us have been to China to say anything about
Yeah, that's true.
Chinese
All of our information is
culture,
secondhand.
to be honest. Yeah. So
No,
I think
the other thing is this: there are a lot of videos where people from Pakistan and India have. I mean, not India, sorry, especially Pakistan. A lot of kids go and study in Beijing University and all that. So they'll actually tell you what their experience is like, and overall, it's been positive. And there's
So
a Kazakhstani
my-
girl who's
my
at the moment
argument
touring
is-
Pakistan. Yeah.
my argument is that the Chinese culture, and even without, even with communism, is very male oriented. If you look at, so they it's
Look at
they
the
don't
party.
need an Andrew Tate. Their Andrew Tate is, what's his name?
They are Andrew
Xi
Tate
Jinping.
themselves.
Xi Jinping is their candidate. Yeah. I mean, true, in a way. I mean, if you look at the Korea, I mean, most of these
Like
places
North
are
Korea.
like that. If
You
look
don't
at
need
Singapore,
Andrew Tate. Supreme ruler is Andrew
if you
Tate.
look at Singapore, they got Lee
did
Kuan
you see?
Yew.
Did you see the meme about Kim
Lee Kuan Yew is
Jong-un?
dead, bro. You got his son now.
No,
Sorry?
no. The
Lee
Kim
Kuan Yew is
Jong.
dead.
I don't know whoever the Kim. Who's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
who's
Oh,
the
man,
one
he's got
right
Kim
now? The
Jong-un.
fat guy.
Kim
So
Jong.
that
Yeah,
people
he
made a
lost
meme
weight, bro.
about
He
him.
lost
It's like-
weight. He lost
Yeah,
weight
but
now.
people made a meme. He goes to this
About what?
sports event. A
Okay.
meme about it.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sport event, and all
Yeah.
these Asian girls are like, hey, like
Yeah, all the Koreans, they're like,
so
they're looking.
it's like you're watching a game. Like you have that crowd.
Yeah,
It's like-
Yeah.
It looks so fake. The whole
Everybody's
thing looks
doing
very
this.
fake.
It is fake.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's real. Who knows? Maybe they're really that happy because they're like, oh, we
Bro,
get to eat
like
for
I
another
saw
10
these
days.
photographs where girls would cry every time they see him. Like that was fucking insane. You saw that photograph where he's standing in a
Yeah,
row of people and there's all
there's
these
plenty of those kind of things. But that's because, bro, they're
So
like, yeah, mate,
North
we're gonna eat for
Korean-
another 10 days. It's great.
North Korean Andrew Tate is Kim Jong Un.
correct.
Kim
So that's what I'm
Jong-un
saying.
is
They all
North
have
Korean Andrew Tate.
like our Andrew Tate was Imran Khan, but the armies put him in. So it's like he's gone in for
Even
a while. So
Dicot-
they all have Andrew Tates.
The
There's not one,
Pakistan,
there's so many
the
of them.
Pakistani army did what Dicot could not. The Pakistani army did it.
So they're kind of trying to
I think-
replace Andrew Tate, who's the Imran Khan, with the Nawaz Sharif. That's what they're trying to do with the fake Andrew Tate. It doesn't work.
Actually, he's Nawaz Sharif is the Andrew Tate of your typical fat.
Yeah, correct. Typical fat businessman who owns 2 shutters of cotton
Man.
or your local businessman.
Who fucking likes
type.
to give
Yeah.
bribes, take bribes.
Yeah, loves bribes under
That
the table.
society.
Yeah, that's
So
society.
this is how
He's a
this is how
representation of that
countries run.
society. Yeah, that's how you run
This is
business.
how the
correct.
countries run.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think if you think about it in a weird way, we have always had heroes in our society, but they've been made up. They've been constructed by the 3-letter agencies or. The weird part is all of them are 3 letters, right?
Writers.
Everywhere in the world, KGB, ISI, RAW, CIA, FBI. ISU, I think, is 4 letters, but most of them are 3 letters, right? Mossad, I
I'm
think,
from
is like that, but MI6,
FUCK.
3 letters. Huh? Yeah, the Trinity.
I'm from FUCK.
FUCK.
I'm from FUCK, motherfucker.
Yeah. So I think if you think about it, if they are constructing all these heroes, in the middle of that, you had someone like Andrew Tate who's kind of come out from nowhere. right? And became this YouTube sensation and whatnot, and they try to bring him. But do you
Maybe
think
he's a
that
psyop.
the charges? Yeah, but do you think the charges that are against him are real? Could be.
What do you think, bro?
I don't know, man. I mean,
You know,
he does
whatever
have a
your
history,
gut
isn't
says.
it? No, my gut says that he is a bit of a scammer. That's for sure. He's a scammer. He's a scammer who is saying things that kind of make sense to people. If it makes sense, what I'm saying, right?
I think that in his moral worldview,
Morally twisted.
what he did, I
Is
mean,
morally not wrong. For him, it's nothing wrong.
no, for him probably wasn't wrong, and on top of that, the fact that these women come out now, if it really happened, come out now, is kind of, typical
Shady.
behavior of, oh, now he's famous, we can fuck him more. So I think, it's a the.
Dude,
it's
I think personally,
there was this fucking awesome scene from The Godfather, documentaries, like when he talks about Godfather, it's like, it's fun, it's evil versus evil. That's what makes Godfather amazing.
yeah, because there's good bad guys and there's bad guys. So the Godfather and his family are good bad, and then they're bad. So I think, yeah, I mean, that's how the real world actually works if you think about it. But I think, population, I was talking to someone yesterday, dude, in China last year, I think they had 71 or 81 million kids last year. For a billion population, that's
They're negative.
nothing.
It's negative. It's gone bad.
And Korea, Seoul, especially Seoul itself, is in the negative. For every 1,000 kids, I think 1.5 kid is being born or some shit like that.
So for this Valentine special, we recommend all men
Go home and do their moral
not
duty.
fuck themselves, make babies.
Yeah, so the way things are going, like Noam Chomsky said, that, the way we are headed, humanity is just going to fucking kill itself off anyway. I mean, with all the fucking, you heard about emu wars
So,
in Australia?
oh, yeah.
In Australia, we
Okay,
had
this is the
something known as
perfect
an
time to
emu
bring
war.
the
I'll
emu
show you
war.
this one.
Yeah, I was gonna
actually,
just
let me
bring
share
it up.
that. Yeah, look at that.
I couldn't
So
believe it
it's-
when I first saw it as well.
Yeah. So long time
Zoom
ago,
in,
right,
zoom in.
in the 1930s, Australia was undertaken by a huge amount of emus. This is an emu. Okay, it's like a fucking.
It's like a 2 meter
ostrichy
tall
kind of a
animal,
bird.
2.5 meter tall
It's
animal.
and they had multiple attempts to fucking take it down, man. It went all the way to the fucking Australian artillery. They had to involve the fucking military. They had to take it all the way to the fucking Australian parliament.
They
bro. It
brought,
became
they
a
bought
big issue
cannons, bro. Cannons
to
to
fucking
shoot
kill. Yeah,
to shoot down
yeah. It
emus.
became like
And
it
the
was the
worst
culling,
part
the
was
great culling. Yeah.
they lost.
Like
the worst part.
Yeah, they lost
They
them.
gave up
Yeah,
and they went back.
they gave up, and during the Great Depression, what was going on is that the army veterans that were anyway, like they had to kill so many of them because they were just devastating all the
Crops, yeah.
crops. Like a man holding an emu killed by Australian soldiers. Look at that. Like they had to get fucking the army in, bro. They were destroying all the wheat crops. So I mean, recently I think what's been going on is feral pigs
Yeah, feral pigs are the
in
problem.
Australia. I think.
I want to do that.
Yeah, they have these feral pigs in Australia, man.
fucking
They have
do that.
come, mate, in Australia. Like this one,
You gotta think like Texans, guys.
bro. Look at this.
Get a helicopter.
Nah, bro.
Feral
Australian-
pigs are slowly taking
Australian
over
pigs
this
are not like
top-end
Texan pigs,
town,
Mike.
one lawn at a
Australian
time.
pigs go like,
Jackie
what?
Jackson
You what,
garden
Mike?
has been mangled by
Look
the
at this.
pests. They
The
used to
machine
stay at the
gun
back of her
doesn't care
property,
which pig
but
it
they've
is.
started to move closer to home.
We came back from our holidays and we had 15 crossing the driveway, so they've already hit our ground.
They come every second night, tearing up her lawn. It's a problem that seems to have grown worse over recent years.
This year's probably been more so than any other
This
year
is
that we've had.
a while back. This is 11
We've had
months
them right
ago.
up to our house
This
guard,
here
right
new
up to our
one
gates.
is a 1 month old.
It really is a perfect little
unique program
environment
aims
for
to
them to
eliminate
thrive,
feral pigs and wild.
I'd hate to think how many there are here.
He's talking about deer. Introduced 150 years ago for hunting, for a long time they were just a curiosity in the landscape. But their numbers have grown at an alarming rate, and they're now found in nearly 40% of Victoria. they're running up a national damage bill of $91 million a year, much of that to agricultural
So
pastures.
wild deer and
I
feral
harvest
pigs, mate.
3 nights a week, sometimes 4, depending on numbers of orders that I have.
Anthony kills between 400 and
That's a
500
job, bro.
fallow deer each year from private land and forestry plantations in the Otways.
The deer problem is probably going to follow along
But
the lines of the fox problem.
That's what you need to be,
Fucking
you know. You need to be
That's the
Omar
ultimate
Javed,
job, bro.
Omar, and then you need to hunter rat.
I mean, like, look at this. bro.
That's what you need to be.
They're such a reclusive animal. I don't know what program is going to actually eliminate. Like the word eliminate meaning there's no more there.
I can't see that.
I can't see
Yeah,
that in
baby.
my
In
lifetime.
my lifetime. It's that fucking of a problem.
It's that
we
bad.
provide links for later
Who
people to
cares?
watch it. But I mean, dude, either we're not going to have babies and then there's going to be all these fucking animals going to take over the planet anyway. Right? Plus the climate is coming, So we are fucked. 3 ways, man. Right?
We'll
So
find out.
they're going to have
Look, guys, I
incubator
think-
babies.
I think we have to start wrapping it up because we have things to
Yeah,
do.
so I think the last thing I wanted to also, the reason why I'm kind of, fascinated by the Chinese psychology is because all these new science fiction Chinese authors that are coming out, right? Their way of how they look at the future is completely different. How in the West, the books that we read or the movies that we watch, like Blade Runner or whatnot, like their vision of the future is completely fucking different, bro. And it looks like it's more going to be that way than this way that
Than
was
this way.
predicted. Because they're more on the edge of that, right? Because they are the ones who are kind of building infrastructure. They're going through this whole new... I kind of feel that when governments are very tight, like when there's no free will or, there's a lot of manipulation from the government, these kind of authors come out and they create this kind of... And China is going through that. That's why I think because they're living in a very weird... Remember like when we used to watch all that anime, Akira and... all that Japanese like science fiction that came out, after the nuclear bombs got dropped, their whole vision kind of changed about how the future is going to be when they tell their stories, like with Godzilla and shit like that. Now, I think same thing China is going through that cycle.
No, it is.
Make
100%.
babies.
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, I think
right.
maybe it's a wrap for now, unless you guys got
That's a
something
wrap
else
for
to share.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm good. Let's just
worries,
wrap
man.
it up. Thank you
Alright,
very
bro.
much.
It was good to have you, Asif. And I think वो
Asif,
घड़ियों
yeah.
वाली बात तो बीच में रहेगी. So I think we'll talk about how you can fund your retirement by investing in real assets like watches and guns and Cybertrucks.
Oh yeah. I'm
Alright,
for
bro.
guns because it's kind of for the future.
Yeah, for what is coming. Yeah, for all that hunting that we'll have to do.
For all the
All right, we'll
deer
talk
hunting.
about it. We'll talk about it. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Bye.